What's up, my Yu-Gi Bros? I'm your host, the one, the only, the RJB0. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Business Casual. Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization just posted an article with a few new card pictures and texts, and the, was it Maximum Crisis? Whatever it is, some new cards have come out, and one of them in particular has caught my eye. That card is Haru Urara, also known as Ghost Ash and Beautiful Spring, and it is a hand trap along the lines of Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries and Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. And this one, in my opinion, is the best one of them all, except with the possibility of cherries being in there. But this one, I think, has the most universal application and is possibly an easy out to basically every strategy in the game. This card is going to be absolutely staple, I imagine, in the coming meta as soon as this card comes out. It is a level 3 fire zombie type tuner effect monster, which is interesting considering the fact that it is has many of the same attributes as the Shiranui, whatever that zombie archetype is, and it is also a tuner, which is nice, but its effect is amazing. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card effect that would add a card from their deck to their hand, special summon a monster from their deck, or send a card from their deck to the graveyard, you can discard this card, negate that effect. This is frickin' spectacular! This would instantly beat the Juni Shishi engine. Are you kidding me? You could just, like, as soon as they hit the wild bow, or the boar bow, or whatever it is, button, you could drop this and their play would be over for the turn. You can do this with basically any deck. All you have to know is what the key card is in their combo that either adds from the deck or specials from the deck, because absolutely every deck in the game does this. It's just like this mechanic, or these three mechanics are in, they're so ubiquitous that this card is going to be, it's going to be the perfect skill shot when it comes to competitive play. Because while you can totally whiff with this card, you can hit an effect that is not particularly necessary to your opponent's strategy, that they can live without, or your opponent can bluff with it. A very good player, a player who has some experience with the game, is going to know exactly what to hit with this card, and when they do, it is going to be devastating. So I see this card being just freaking spectacular in the TCG. And I am really excited to see what it does in the meta, or in the OCG meta, but I'm also a little bit concerned that this is part of a rise of a set of cards that I absolutely hate, that I call blowout cards, that are cards that are difficult to stop, but which the use of just totally reduce your deck to its worst components. Cards like this include Dimensional Barrier and Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. These are cards that, once again, they're difficult to stop. Even if you hit Dimensional Barrier with something like an MST, it's just not going to help you out. And most decks center their strategy around a particular type of summoning. Some of them don't, and those decks are less vulnerable to the card, but against the decks, for the decks against which it's good, it's devastating. It makes their deck almost useless. And the same goes for Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. You know, you can run Pot of Avidity to stop it, but Pot of Avidity is otherwise an awful card. It's a terrible card. It's almost entirely useless, in my opinion, except when you get hit with cherries. So you have to run a card that is objectively bad for the sake of dealing with something that will just otherwise blow out your deck. And I have the feeling that this Ghost Ash and Beautiful Spring is going to be very similar in terms of what it achieves in the meta, what it kind of does, because hand traps are tough to stop. You have to run like Debunk in order to stop a hand trap or something like that, and it's just, a good player using this card is almost always going to win if they draw it. So I am curious to hear what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. Meanwhile, I hope you all liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you did, let me know why in the comment section below. And of course, subscribe for more decks, discussion, analysis, and general Yu-Gi-Oh! Shenanigans. Thank you all for watching. I am your host, the one, the only, the RJB0, and I got a jet. See you guys.